also showed that disinformation actors were found to have significantly more followers than their non-disinformation counterparts.
People seem to like people that don't like us and what we tell them. We not like this. Why don't we find any way of shutting down anybody who doesn't agree with us? We could just say whatever we want and then say their argument against what we're saying is a kind of disinformation. This is brilliant. In fact, if we can eliminate Elon Musk and his considerable wealth and evident principles, then we can control the whole world. No, sorry. I mean, we can help people more because you can see how we're helping. Look around at all of the help that's happening. Do you think that the imposition of online censorship is about authoritarianism, managing information, managing dissent, presenting commercial opportunities to valued corporate partners, controlling the potential for oppositionist organisations in any country around the world, let alone global alliances that oppose globalism itself? Or do you think it's about they're worried that when you go online, that you might be somehow vulnerable or hurt? What is it they've ever said or done in all history that leads you to think they care about your feelings?
Tend to have joined the platform more recently than non-disinformation users. Mr. Musk knows that he is not off the hook.
You are not off the hook. You are still very much on the hook. We can still get to your money. We can censor you.
Because now we have the Digital Services Act fully in force.
Oh my God, so you can't just opt. Remember when it was convenient for them to say, oh, they're private platforms? Do you remember that? They're private platforms. They can say what they want. They can ban Donald Trump if they want to. It's a private platform. Oh, right, they're not banning Donald Trump anymore. Regulate them!
We will be enforcing that. We have our, I think, very well-equipped unit which will monitor and supervise what the platforms are doing. And as Twitter has been designated as the very large online platform, of course, there are obligations given by the hard law. So my message for Twitter is you have to comply with the hard law.
The only decision we have to make as individuals, people that believe in free speech, is do you trust these institutions or not? Do you trust them to make moral judgment? Do you trust them to discern what's misinformation and disinformation and what isn't? If the answer, like my personal answer, is no, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Then you have to, in one way or another, oppose this tyrannical tide towards centralised power and the closing down of free speech.
We will be watching what you are doing.
What's terrifying, additionally terrifying, about what Vera Jourova is saying is that laws are being passed all around the world to prohibit free speech. And as we have told you before, if you shut down free speech, then everything else is up in the air. Let's explain to you how that happens. Canada has already brought in online regulatory laws that mean that podcasts can be controlled and that online platforms can be fined if they report on information that the government deems to be misinformation. Oh, that was misinformation. However, let me show you already in real time what that's led to. In Canada, there's been an unprecedented spate of debanking people. That means shutting down the bank accounts of people who essentially you don't like, presumably because they're Nazis, although in Canada, being a Nazi can literally get you a round of applause in Parliament. You know that. That's not my fault. That's their fault. They did it. So people are getting their bank accounts shut down if they don't agree with the state. Why don't we know about that? That's weird. That should have been in the news. Yeah, I'll tell you why it's not in the news. Because the legacy media won't report it because they're in alignment with it. And independent media can't report it because they're being regulated and controlled. That's what happens if you allow this type of legislation to be passed. If we don't all stand up together now, we're going to lose the possibility to stand together forever. Let's have a look at Canada, dystopia pilot, practicing laws and regulations that even 5 years ago would have been unimaginable.